Hi, hello, welcome. I'm Ruth. Thanks for joining today's video. Before I get into sharing 3 books I think are bangers, I recently got into blind boxes. I'm not obsessed with them, but I can understand the appeal of why people love buying blind boxes because you really never know what you're gonna get. So it's because these little figurines are so dang cute, and that is why it just sucked me in. So obviously, these blind boxes are a want and not a need. And so I'd like to share with you. The first one, aside from it being cute, it's also food related. So the first one is by Smoko, and these are called tempura shrimpies. So I just wanted to show you the box. I've already opened them. And they are, little figurines that are in a tempura shape. And for those of you who don't know, a tempura is a type of batter that you can dip vegetables or meat in, and then you fry it, and this is how it kind of looks like. So in this specific example, it's supposed to be representing shrimp. This particular one costs 15 bucks, so it is a little pricey, but I think that they don't feel like cheap plastic. I think it's pretty sturdy, kind of like a smooth finish, and they're just so cute. Look at this. Here's another one that we got. And they're just so cute. And then you have the little Naruto fish cake right there. So cute. And then the other one that we got suckered into, also by Smoko, and this one's the dim sum series, so also food related, and it has that cute little animation so you can kind of see what you're gonna get. And especially if you love dim sum, then you'll know what a lot of these dishes are. So for us specifically, we got chicken feet. Hey, I know chicken feet sounds kind of gross to a lot of people, but don't knock it until you try it. And yeah, some people may not like chicken feet because of the texture, even the look of seeing chicken feet, but you know what? People do eat it, so let's not judge people, right? The other one that we got is this cute egg tart. It's a dessert. A lot of the times you get in dim sum. So this one's cute. This figurine looks like he is basking in the sun. See, it's just so cute. But again, very hefty, nice, smooth finish. So this was also 15 bucks. So I'm sure you can find a little bit cheaper options online, but the place that we bought it from, it was just convenient to go there and get it. And it was a spur of the moment type of thing. And yeah, so I wanted to share a little bit about that. But okay, so let's get into the books here. First one is called The Poet Empress. So I rented this from the library, and I love this book so much. So again, I blocked for privacy reasons, but the cover and the inside of the book is amazing, beautiful artwork. And then you have the sides that have this bronzy finish. Again, it just makes this book feel so elevated, elegant, timeless. And I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but there's a little iridescent speckle glitter on this book cover. Again, make this book so beautiful to have like displayed on your bookshelf. Love the deep dark colors of what the author and the publishing company chose. Very eye-catching to me. So love it. So this book has a lot of trigger warnings in relations to abuse, violence, and other things. So I appreciate the author letting you know ahead of time in case you're not comfortable reading those things. So I love it. And I think even though this is kind of set in a fantasy world because there's some magic involved. So if you like Chinese drama, C-drama, usually fantasy C-drama have some sort of magical element to it. So this is no different. And it mixes well with the realism of the real world. But why I like this book so much is the way it's written. It's definitely for a mature audience, as in the topics that are discussed. There are not a lot of explicit scenes, or hardly any, and I like that a lot because that's not the focus of the story. The focus is about the protagonist and how she survives this royal world, and how she's trying to not lose herself in this world too. And I love it because she is really well spoken, very intelligent, which I love in a female character. She is very cunning, and she learns very quickly about how to navigate this world that she thought was going to help her. I mean, it does, but you know what I mean? You fantasize and about this specific idea that you have, and then when you actually are in a situation, you're just thinking, oh no, like this is not what I think about or thought this world would be. Love how it ends. I love how everything wraps up nicely. I really enjoyed this book a lot. I could not put this book down. I kept wanting to try to finish as quickly as I can, because I just really wanted to know what was going on. So this was definitely 4 stars for me. There are a couple similar books I've read in the past. I'll go ahead and link them below. I think that this one is a better way of how the story is written than I'll link that book up here specifically because I feel like it's the same concept of how they're written, but I think this one does a better job. And then the bottom videos I'm going to link are also some similar, you know, if you're into C dramas or C fantasy dramas, I'll link some books below too that are also in that same genre for you to compare if you've read those books, to see if, yeah, am I correct, or do you feel the same way, that this book reminds you of like other similar books we've read in the past. Favorite characters, I do like the main character. I won't reveal her name. Not that it's a secret of her name, but I don't want to reveal her name. I do like the main character. I like the support cast that she has around her, because I thought that they would backstab her, but they were very loyal to her, which I love. And she's tries to stay true to herself. And this book focuses a lot on the strength of female characters. I think also this book, I like that it doesn't focus on the, you know, sexual aspect of being in this world. So just a little bit about this book. So, you know, in the past, a lot of times when a king or emperor takes over a city, you know, they have to take concubines with them. And so instead of focusing on the negative aspect of being a concubine, how do they turn this situation around to benefit themselves? So that's what I like about this book. So 4 stars for sure. Also, I'm not sure if this is just an Asian culture that's done. So in the book, there's a scene where one of the characters gets hurt by just an inanimate object. It could be a table, a tree. And so the other character, in order to make the character that was hurt feel better, hit the inanimate object. Is that something other cultures do, or is this just like an Asian thing? Because I know that I've done it before for like my nieces and nephews. If they get hurt or they bump their head on the table, I'll hit the table and say bad table to make, you know, my nieces and nephews feel better. So please let me know, does that, again, is that just a Asian culture thing, or do other cultures do that too? So the next book I'd like to talk about, these 2 books were given to me for free, but of course, like I always say, I will always give you my real thoughts on them. So this second book is called Under the Amber Waves. This is a story about a dad who has money issues, and he's going to do whatever it takes in order to make sure that his family is taken care of. And I know this is a stupid question, but would you really do anything to save your family? I don't know. It's a very hard question, especially depending on the situation that you're in. Would you really do everything in your power? So this book is set in Japan as well. This is the second book in the Black Sun series. I'll link the video below of my review of the book. So far, this author has been a hit with me in terms of how he intertwines Japanese folklore, mythology into the real world. I love how he sets the environment. It's just very creepy, very eerie, and each book is different. So on his website, he'll explain that even though this is a 5-book series, these books could be standalone. So you don't really have to read it in order, but it's just nice to see the differences in his story. And I don't know if it's because of recency bias or not, but I feel like I do like his second book better than his first. And I do like his first book as well. This one is also 4 stars because of how the author shows the human characteristics of how greedy we can be, how selfish we can be, and yeah, we do whatever it takes for our own self-interest, and then we just screw other people in the process. So I like how he really shows that emotion and characteristics of people, unfortunately. And I also love the fact that you cannot get away. I'll just say that you cannot get away from your decisions that you make in your life is all I'm going to say about this book. So love that. Again, love this book. I hope that you'll check it out too. And I'm excited to read his 3rd book. And any favorite characters that I have with this book, I think his daughter, because she's so innocent, but his daughter I like. I do like his wife as well, but there was a questionable choice that she made, and I wish she had a different outcome. I don't know. But even if, regardless, I still liked how everything wrapped up nicely too with this book. Last but not least, I have another book 2 in the author's memoir series. So the first one we spoke about is called Abuse, Use, Broken, Spat Out. And this is his second book called The Abuse and the Use. So this book I will also give a 4 stars just because, again, he stays in line with the way he writes. It's very fragmented, it's real, he writes down what he thinks, and I like that because, again, it feels real. It feels like I am just hearing him talk. We're chit-chatting and he's telling me about his life, and I like that style. This second book goes a little bit more into detail about more of his background and the steps that he's taking to remedy all that is done to him, and how he's trying to deal with the aftermath of what he had to deal with. And I like it because it's a work in progress. It's not going to be a easy fix. There are times where I feel the author shows that there are times where he will feel better, and then sometimes he's not going to feel better, and it's just going to take time. But I love that he's always trying to remind himself, trying to remember he doesn't want to repeat the past. He's trying to better himself, and you can see that in his writing and how he progresses in his storytelling ability and just his raw emotions. So love this book as well, and I hope you'll check out these 3 books that I shared with you today. Please let me know, did you like any of these books? Do you have a favorite character? Maybe you didn't like any of these books. Would love to hear from you. All right, leave a like, comment, share, rate, subscribe. It'll really help me out a lot. I'll see you in the next video. Happy shelf surfing.